Introduction. Warp Travel. Navigating the Immaterium. Welcome to our comprehensive exploration of one of the most critical and perilous aspects of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, warp travel. Essential for faster-than-light travel, yet fraught with dangers, warp travel enables the vast, galaxy-spanning conflicts and connections within the Imperium of Man and beyond. Join us as we delve into the intricacies, risks, and significance of navigating the Immaterium. Chapter 1. The Nature of the Warp. The warp, also known as the Immaterium, is a parallel dimension of pure psychic energy that exists alongside the material universe. Unlike the physical realm, the warp is a realm of constant flux, where time and space are mutable, and the thoughts and emotions of sentient beings influence its very fabric. It is inhabited by powerful and malevolent entities known as the Chaos Gods and their demonic legions. The Immaterium serves as the medium for faster-than-light travel, enabling starships to traverse the vast distances between stars in a fraction of the time it would take in real space. However, the warp is not just a convenient highway. It is a realm of immense danger, where the unprepared can easily be lost, corrupted, or destroyed. Chapter 2. The History of Warp Travel. Warp travel has a long and complex history. During the Dark Age of technology, humanity achieved great mastery over the warp, developing advanced technologies and techniques for safe navigation. This era saw the widespread use of warp drives and the rise of the Navigators, mutant humans capable of guiding ships through the Immaterium. However, the Age of Strife, a period of galactic turmoil and isolation, saw the collapse of much of this knowledge. The emergence of the warp storms, violent and unpredictable disturbances within the Immaterium, cut off countless worlds and led to the decline of human civilization. It was only with the Emperor of Mankind's rise during the Great Crusade that humanity began to reclaim and refine the lost art of warp travel. Chapter 3. The Mechanics of Warp Travel. Warp travel relies on specialized technology and psychically gifted individuals. Starships equipped with warp drives can tear a hole in the fabric of reality, allowing them to enter the Immaterium. Once inside, the ship is propelled by the currents of the warp, traveling vast distances before re-emerging into real space. Navigating the warp is a complex and dangerous task. This is where Navigators come in. These mutants possess a third eye, known as the warp eye, which allows them to perceive the currents and eddies of the warp. With the aid of the Astronomican, a powerful psychic beacon emanating from Terra and powered by the Emperor himself, Navigators can plot courses through the Immaterium, steering clear of its many dangers. The Astronomican is crucial for warp navigation. Without its guiding light, starships would be lost in the Immaterium, unable to find their way back to real space. The beacon's strength diminishes with distance, making navigation more challenging the farther one travels from Terra. Chapter 4. The Dangers of Warp Travel. Despite its necessity, warp travel is fraught with dangers. The Immaterium is home to daemons and other malevolent entities that seek to corrupt or destroy any intruders. Ships traveling through the warp must maintain strong gellar fields, protective barriers that shield the vessel and its crew from these psychic threats. A failure of the gellar field can result in catastrophic consequences, including demon incursions and the loss of the ship and its crew. Warp storms are another significant hazard. These violent and unpredictable disturbances can disrupt navigation, throw ships off course, and even trap them within the Immaterium. The currents of the warp can change suddenly, creating navigational hazards that even the most skilled navigators struggle to overcome. The psychological impact of the warp on the crew is also profound. Prolonged exposure to the Immaterium can induce madness, hallucinations, and other mental disturbances. Ships often employ astropaths, specially trained psychers, to maintain communication and provide psychic defense against the warp's influence. Chapter 5. The Role of the Navigators. Navigators are essential for safe warp travel. These mutants belong to the Navigator houses, powerful dynastic families that have held their position since the dawn of the Imperium. The Navigator houses are fiercely independent, providing their services to the highest bidder, whether it be the Imperium, rogue traders, or other factions. The warp eye of a navigator allows them to see the currents of the Immaterium, guiding ships safely through its turbulent seas. This ability makes them indispensable for any journey through the warp. Navigators undergo rigorous training to hone their skills and learn to interpret the ever-changing landscape of the warp. Navigators also play a political role within the Imperium. Their unique abilities and the power of the Navigator houses grant them significant influence, allowing them to shape policies and alliances. The survival of the Imperium relies heavily on the continued cooperation and expertise of these mutant navigators. Chapter 6. The Astronomican. The Astronomican is the emperor of mankind's psychic lighthouse, guiding ships through the warp. Located in the heart of the Imperial Palace on Terra, it is powered by the Emperor's immense psychic energy. Thousands of psychers are sacrificed daily to sustain the Astronomican, their life force channeled to maintain the beacon's strength. The Astronomican's light is visible to navigators, providing a fixed point of reference within the shifting currents of the warp. This beacon is essential for plotting courses and ensuring that ships can navigate the Immaterium safely. However, the farther one travels from Terra, the weaker the Astronomican's light becomes, making long-distance warp travel, increasingly perilous. The maintenance of the Astronomican is a constant and costly endeavor, reflecting the Imperium's reliance on warp travel for its survival. Without the Astronomican, the Imperium would be unable to maintain its vast network of worlds, leading to fragmentation and isolation. Chapter 7. The Impact of Warp Travel on the Imperium. Warp travel is the lifeblood of the Imperium, enabling the rapid deployment of military forces, the transport of goods and resources, and the maintenance of communication across vast distances. The Adeptus Astartes, Imperial Guard, and other military forces rely on warp travel to respond to threats and conduct campaigns across the galaxy. The vastness of the Imperium, with its millions of worlds, makes warp travel essential for governance and administration. The Adeptus Administratum coordinates the flow of information, resources, and personnel, ensuring that the Imperium functions as a cohesive whole. The ability to travel quickly through the warp allows the Imperium to project its power and maintain control over its territories. Warp travel also facilitates trade and commerce, connecting the various worlds of the Imperium. Merchant fleets and rogue traders navigate the Immaterium to transport valuable goods and establish new trade routes. This economic activity is vital for the prosperity and stability of the Imperium. Chapter 8. The Influence of Chaos in the Warp. The warp is not only a medium for travel, but also the source of the Imperium's greatest threats. The Chaos Gods and their demonic legions reside within the Immaterium, seeking to corrupt and destroy all life. Warp travel exposes ships to the influence of chaos, making vigilance and protection paramount. The forces of chaos use the warp to launch their invasions, appearing suddenly and wreaking havoc before disappearing back into the Immaterium. The unpredictability of warp travel and the ever-present threat of demonic incursions make the defense of the Imperium a constant and arduous task. The Inquisition and the Adeptus Astartes are at the forefront of combating the influence of chaos. They conduct purges, investigations, and military campaigns to root out heresy and corruption, ensuring that the Imperium remains vigilant against the insidious threats that lurk within the warp. Chapter 9. The Future of Warp Travel. The future of warp travel is uncertain, with both advancements and challenges on the horizon. The emergence of new warp routes and the discovery of ancient technologies hold the potential to improve navigation and safety. The ongoing research of the Adeptus Mechanicus and the insights of the Navigators are crucial for unlocking these possibilities. However, the ever-present dangers of the warp continue to pose significant risks. The rise of new warp storms, the increasing activity of the Chaos Gods, and the unpredictable nature of the Immaterium make warp travel a perilous endeavor. The Imperium must remain vigilant and adaptive, finding new ways to safeguard its ships and navigate the warp. The potential for new discoveries and advancements in warp travel offers hope for the future. The continued efforts of the Imperium's scientists, navigators, and psychers will be essential for ensuring that warp travel remains a viable and effective means of traversing the galaxy. Conclusion. Reflections on warp travel. Warp travel is a cornerstone of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, enabling the vast, galaxy-spanning conflicts and connections that define the setting. Its intricacies, risks, and significance make it a fascinating and essential aspect of the lore. The ability to navigate the Immaterium is both a blessing and a curse, offering unparalleled opportunities and unparalleled dangers. As we reflect on warp travel, we are reminded of the resilience and ingenuity required to master this perilous journey. The efforts of the Navigators, the guidance of the Astronomican, and the vigilance of the Imperium ensure that humanity can continue to traverse the stars despite the ever-present threats of the warp. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the complexities and significance of warp travel in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. We hope this exploration has deepened your understanding and appreciation of this critical element in the lore. Stay tuned for more in-depth looks into the rich and complex world of Warhammer 40,000. Until next time.